Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Faryal from Scrumptious Cakes by Fairy, and in today's video I am going to share with you my ganache method. I use upside down method as I do with my buttercream cakes, but there is a difference of timing. So I have been receiving so many requests to show how I do it with the ganache. So I am going to share with you all my ganache method. The best part of this method is that you do not need any fancy tools, any expensive tools to achieve the sharp edges. I know how expensive the ganaching plates are, so this is the cheapest method to achieve the sharp edges, and it is very simple and very easy to follow as well. So if you want to see how I'm going to do this, then please keep on watching. So I'm going to start with this 12-inch square cake drum and some baking paper. You may call it grease-proof paper, and I'm going to cut it a little bit, and then I'm going to punch it from the back, and I'm going to punch it very tightly. Make sure the paper is not loose. It is very important for the paper to be very tightly wrapped around. So I'm just using a staple gun and just stapling at the back. Once the paper is tightly wrapped around, you need to keep this cake drum aside, and we are going to use this later. Now I'm taking this bread knife and I'm going to level my cakes. My cake sponges comes out pretty much flat. I don't get any dome, so I'm just removing the caramelized bit from the top, and I'm just keeping the sponges aside one by one. So this is the last one. Just make sure they're all leveled. So now I'm having this 8-inch cake card and I'm spreading some white chocolate ganache on that, because this ganache is going to work as a glue to stick the cake sponge, and I'm making sure that my cake sponge is right in the center. You will have some space left around the cake card, and that is going to help us to push the ganache. So I'm spreading some jam. Then I'm adding buttercream. You can add as much and as less as you want. I personally like a generous amount, so if you don't like this much buttercream, you can add less, definitely. I am using an offset spatula to spread the buttercream, and I am removing some buttercream from around the edges. Now I'm adding another layer of cake sponge and making sure that the cake is leveled from the bottom layer, and I'm repeating the same process, adding the jam and then the buttercream. Don't take the buttercream right till the edges. You have to leave about a centimeter of space. For the last layer, we are going to turn it upside down so we get a better flat surface for the top of our cake. Now I'm making sure that my cake layers are aligned with each other, and I'm using this sprit leveler to check the level of the cake. If I see that it is not balanced, then I'm just pushing the cake sponges with my hand to make it straight, and I have refrigerated the cake for about 30 minutes till the buttercream has gone pretty much hard. Now once the cake is out of the fridge, I'm using white chocolate ganache and pushing the ganache right in that 1 centimeter space. So what this ganache is going to do is, this ganache is going to make a dam around the buttercream, which will help the buttercream to stay in place and do not bulge out. So that's the point of doing that. So I'm just pushing the ganache right now in that space. I'm not too much worried about making it smoother. You can find my white chocolate ganache recipe on my channel, but I will try to link that video in the description down below so you can easily find it. Now I'm adding a dollop of white chocolate ganache over the top, and I'm going to use this flat spatula to spread it around. I'm just slightly kind of smoothing it from the top. Not too much worried about the finish. Then we are going to take this board which we covered with the grease-proof paper, and I'm going to put that over the top, and I am using the sprit leveler again to check the level of my cake, because after this stage it will be hard to amend any mistake. hold the cake tightly and then flip it over like I did. It's a bit tricky, but you need a bit of practice to do this. Don't get scared, you can do it. Now I'm checking the level again just to make sure that it is right. Now we are going to spread white chocolate ganache around the sides. Just add a generous amount of white chocolate ganache. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be smooth. Just keep adding a lot of ganache around the sides, because once we have applied the ganache generously around the sides, we will use the side scraper to smooth it out. I am using this Cake Craft Company acrylic side scraper. I'm just slowly moving my turntable and scraping the white chocolate ganache. So you just need to keep the scraper at a 90-degree angle. Make sure you don't bend it or you don't lift it from the cake drum. It needs to rest, and then when you are scraping, you need to push towards that cake card which we have on the cake. So that cake card actually is going to act as a guide about how much ganache we are going to add around the cake. So after scraping all the sides, if you see any gaps in between or any space where you need more ganache, you can just keep adding and keep scraping like I did until you get the satisfactory result. So I'm gonna keep adding the ganache and keep scraping, keep smoothing until I am completely happy with the result. So like you can see, I do have some missed places where I need to add more ganache. So, and make sure you clean your side scraper every time you scrape the ganache, because you don't need any ganache on your scraper while you are scraping the sides. And guys, please ignore my concentration face. I didn't realize till now that I make funny faces when I'm concentrating on something, so just ignore and pay attention to the cake. So once I'm happy with the smoothness, I'm going to put the cake in the fridge for about an hour or until the ganache is like solid hard. So after about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, the ganache was completely set hard. Now I'm flipping my cake back to the other cake plate, and I'm slowly removing the top card. As you can see, there is no ganache on this, so that means our top is pretty much smooth. Now I'm adding a little bit of ganache over the top because I can see some air bubbles and some spaces. I want the top to be very smooth, because if I'm going to cover it with the fondant, it is going to trap air in those places. So I'm adding some ganache over the top and using my palette knife to smooth it out, and then I'm using the side scraper to remove the excess ganache. Because my cake is solid and very cold, I'm just able to remove the excess amount of the ganache and not messing up with the ganache which we did before. So I'm completely happy with the end result, and here is our cake. So I hope you like this tutorial, and I hope you will try it when you are doing your cakes. This is the cheapest method to do for achieving the sharp edges on ganache without buying any fancy acrylic plates. So if you like this tutorial, please don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, then please do consider subscribing, and I'm sure you will enjoy my videos in the future as well. So that's it for now, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.